Okay, so the moral issue we have chosen is whether marijuana should be legal or if it should stay illegalized. So the position we're taking on this dilemma is marijuana should be legalized because it will help decriminalization of this drug because there are tens of thousands of people in our society that are just put in prisons just for the distribution of it, which is really unfair because prison is when you're in prison, you are living under really harsh conditions, and just for selling a little organic plant, I mean, it's a little ridiculous to be put in prison, in my opinion. Um, Another reason is for all the medicinal benefits of marijuana. Marijuana helps slow down the cause of, or it slows down the rate of cancer, which is, I mean, because there's no cure to cancer, I think it's a much better option to to take than like any like chemotherapy or anything like because it just really slows down cancer. And then it also helps with people who are anorexic because it gives people an appetite. And it also helps people with sleeping disorders, like people who can't go to like fall asleep. So instead of taking those chemically made pills that they give people with sleeping disorders, you can just smoke a little marijuana, and this, then you'll start feeling tired. Yeah. So um, so why is this moral problem so intractable? Well, in 1915, marijuana was illegalized by or by politicians because they were ignorant to what cannabis actually was. They just assumed that all drugs are equally bad, so they just decided to put a prohibition on it. And right there, that's a fallacy because you just can't make assumptions about one thing because one you can't make an assumption about something when one thing is bad. But um and honestly, nowadays there are still many politicians who are opposed to it, but there are a lot of politicians who are for it. So, um marijuana and religion, let's go over that. Um Marijuana is really looked down upon by a lot of religious people because it's just part of their belief system that when you're doing drugs, you're harming your body, and if you know you're harming your body, it's a sin. And anyone who's religious doesn't want to sin because they're not trying to go to hell. So where did this original position come from? Well, I've tried marijuana, and I personally don't think that it's that bad of a drug. Like, it's I use it for recreational use, but it's really not that bad. Like, the most I'm gonna do is open the fridge, chill on the couch, and probably never end up leaving my crib. But other than that, um, yeah, I'm not gonna kill anyone on marijuana. That's what they said in 1915 when they banned it. They were saying that marijuana was causing people in their society to be homicidal maniacs, and that's not what it does. It just unmotivates people. If anything, that's probably the biggest concern with it. But so the philosopher we're choosing on this stance is Socrates, and what Socrates would have to say, he would be against marijuana because the where he stands on ignorance is well, if you know you're harming your body when you smoke marijuana, then uh it's ignorant because you know you're doing it and you're still like participating in the action. So he would be against it. But if marijuana wasn't harmful for you, such as edibles removes the smoking factor from it, it so you still get high when you eat like a brownie with THC extract in it. Um, So uh, then he would be for it because it caught like marijuana honestly does cause a lot of happiness and it takes a lot of stress off people's chests. So he would definitely be for it because knowledge is happiness, and the knowledge that marijuana makes you happy and it's not even being harmful and you're not doing any harm when you just eat like an edible, he would definitely be for it. So um the only way I think uh oh wait, there's also one more reason why marijuana should be legal is because if we if states were to sell marijuana and put a tax on it, then uh we would bring in a lot of revenue into our budget, into our state's budgets, and that would be really helpful, especially in Illinois because we're broke as a joke. And I mean, if we're gonna be getting over $100 million in revenue like each year, plus like there could be more revenue in it. Um, so that could really be helpful in a state's budget. But so the only way to solve this issue is if people in our society stand for it and vote for a president such as Bernie Sanders who wants to end the war on drugs. Um, yeah, because this is a democracy, so everyone has to be in on it together. But yeah, and marijuana would have to be sent through our like our justice systems, like our court systems, for the law to be passed. And once that happens, I think uh, society will be much more chill, just less stressed out. People will be a lot more happy or a lot happier. And yeah, that's where we stand.